Well, Dave, a big game this weekend, a local derby in front of a sellout away crowd. I suppose exactly the kind of game you want after last weekend.
You just want a game. Like I say, the quicker you can get on the pitch to try and rectify things that happened last weekend, the better for everyone. Some of them did that on Tuesday. But obviously, like you say, a big game, a local derby. We'll travel in our numbers with an expectant crowd and we'll look to go and perform.
How is the mood around the place this week? Because obviously you had really started to feel like you were starting to turn a corner in terms of performances, results, but obviously last Saturday was a frustrating one.
Like I said previously, football clubs are different Monday to Friday when you've won on the Saturday. So this week is, I suppose, interrupted a little bit by the game on Tuesday, but was an important game for certain players to get out of them what we needed. Everybody is encouraged and reinforced by wins, but what you've got to do is you have to move on. Like I say, no good feeling sorry for yourselves. From a player's perspective, you've got to get back to doing what's made your success. I suppose the frustrating thing for us at the minute is around that consistency and around mistakes that have been damaging to us, and we have to get away from that. But still, got to be positive. Loads of belief in what we've got. Long time to go. And we need to put a run together, and a run that's built over 5 or 6 games, not just 1 or 2, and then another setback. We need to be better than that.
What's been the biggest difference for you so far this season in terms of that step up to League 2 from the National League?
Fine margins. I think you look at where we are in terms of, and you can look at data where we should be and where we should be based on goals we should have scored and goals we should have conceded or shouldn't have conceded. Paints a completely different picture. You can use that as a positive, but the reality of it makes no difference. What we have to look at is that where we are and where we need to improve, and we need to improve in both penalty areas. We've been punished for mistakes. We've been defending well in the main and been on top in games, but we've been giving really poor goals away. On the flip side of that, we've been creating good chances and not taking them chances. But we can't become embroiled in thinking that we have to score the first goal in the game or we have to take the first chance that comes our way. We've got to be better, and in adversity, whether that be from missing a chance or not taking a chance or making a mistake and conceding a goal or getting away with something, you got to move on from that. Football is a game that's, we've said it before, full of variables, and it's a game that's played over 100 minutes. There's plenty of time left to get the result of a game that you need over that period. That's been, like I said, the biggest difference for me. We've been severely punished, as you would expect, going up, and on the flip side of it, we've not punished teams enough, which is resulting in a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of edge around our play at certain times in certain games.
Do you still feel satisfied that progress is being made in adapting to those changes, that they're still heading in the right direction?
I don't know. There can be arguments in terms of heading in the right direction and things like that. I think there's always going to be, you're always going to look at results and or take them as disappointing or as motivating in terms of the result we got at Bradford last weekend. That's always going to be the case, because ultimately that's what you're judged on, and that's what everyone wants to do. Everyone's got used to winning, and everyone loves and enjoy winning with the adulation that brings. That's not been the case. Like I say, individually there's been improvements. I think certainly in terms of players being integrated into the squad and into the system and how we want to do things. There's some that haven't and have, I suppose, made errors that you'd want them to learn from. But as a group, like I say, I'm really happy. I'm comfortable with where we are. I still got real belief in what we've got. We've got a group of players that absolutely are capable of winning football matches at this level. At the moment, we're on the wrong side of those margins, and we have to make or work as hard as possible to make sure that flips around and we come on the right side of them.
Just going back to Tuesday's game for a minute, and regardless of the context of the game, there were certainly positives to take. 9 changes for that one. How pleased were you with the performance of the players that came into the team?
Yeah, it was important. It was an important game for, especially for ones that have been out and not had minutes. That game, again, I suppose like the previous 2 games, really, you can look at it and players will look at what importance games potentially hold. Every game, in my eyes, is important, whether that be a pre-season friendly, whether that be a bounce game that we put on between league fixtures, whether it be a league fixture, an FA Cup game, they're all important for different reasons. There was players there needed minutes, and from our perspective as a group, we want to win a game. Performance was good, probably similar to what we've seen in terms of opportunities we created and not finishing those things off. And on another occasion this season, that's come back and bitten us, and we've conceded a goal where we haven't won that game, or we'd have potentially lost that game. That didn't happen, so that's positive. And lads that did play in the game will, without question, have put themselves in our minds for the weekend.
You got 90 minutes out of Callum MacDonald as well at left back, and that's a position that, for a number of reasons, no one's really nailed down yet this season. How do you feel Callum has settled in there?
Yeah, he's still a bit short, and Tuesday will, certainly in terms of his data, was good, was more what we need from a person playing in that position in terms of, as a wing back on Tuesday, the ability to bomb up and down all day. It's a physical role. Cal's got really good quality, will get better as he gets fitter in terms of the demands we have in that position. As you say, there's been changes through one reason or another, and those wide areas are important areas for us, and we found it a little bit last year without it being overly costly, that when we didn't have the players that we, I suppose, had went on our runs within those areas, that we struggled a little bit in terms of our identity, in terms of creativity, and him along that side has given us the opportunity to, again, maybe look at being or reverting to the shape we have been for a while, like we were on Tuesday, or giving us other options in terms of how we go about things, with especially Ryan and Huss being out at the time.
Just in terms of injuries, we've seen a couple of players back out on the grass this week. How is the squad looking for Saturday?
Yeah, the ones that are out on the grass aren't ones that are really in consideration for the weekend. Ryan Rydell and Joe Lewis have been on the grass with us since Monday, so they've had three sessions with the group, and we'll continue to work with them. Every session will be a bonus. Macca's back on the grass, but still with the medical team in terms of where he's at. But fingers crossed, with no setbacks, he might be with us next week. But it's important with the three of them that they've been out a decent amount of time, that as much as we might want to get them back in, that we need to be careful and make sure it's right, because we want them back with us for the long term, not just a quick fix, if you like.
Just looking at Salford, a team with a really distinct way of playing this season, committed to playing out from the back. What have you made of them so far this season? Yeah,
as you just said, that's a good description of them in terms of what they want to do. How they, like I say, a changing manager, changing personnel, changing philosophy of how they go about things, and we'll plan for that to be the case and go there and look to put a game plan in place that'll suit us and give us the best possible chance of going there and winning. They've started, like I say, the season well, better than they've started previous seasons, and got themselves in and amongst the top 6-7 teams. So they're in a position that they want to be in. We're in a position that we're not, and we want to go there and get 3 points.
I suppose you've seen a few weeks ago at Bradford, though, against another side in the playoffs, that these are the kind of games that can actually bring the best out of your players.
Yeah, in terms of bring the best, I suppose it shows the nature of the league. Really, it's a close division. We beat Bradford, deservedly so, and Bradford then go and beat Salford. that's just it. The division is close in my eyes. There's not much between the teams, and matches and games on an individual basis can be separated by I wouldn't say the toss of a coin, but certainly the break of a ball or one mistake over another, and we found that out to our cost. So we need to keep them down, but ultimately believe in what we've got and keep being positive, and we'll go there and be positive and look to win the game.
I wish you the best of luck, Dave. Thanks for talking to us.
Cheers, thank you.